Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again. I want to apologize for all those who lost LP yesterday playing that Solani Sand Soldiers deck. So today I'm going to make it up to you and help you gain your LP back by showing you the best deck in the game now after the hotfix. And that's going to be Vayne Aatrox. Vayne Aatrox has taken the spot of the Meta King from Aatrox Kayn because of the hotfix. And if you don't believe me, just look at this. Leaderboards, Americas. 1, 2, 3, 4 players in the top 10 of Americas playing Vayne Aatrox. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the top 10 of the EU playing Vayne Aatrox. In APAC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in APAC as well. And then you go to the actual win rates, and if you look at this and you go down to Vayne Aatrox, 57% win rate over 9,000 games. Literally the highest so far in the patch. If you look at just the past couple of days, it goes even higher to 58. This deck is bonkers. And that's why I wanted to showcase for you all, because we kind of been having a lot of fun these past couple of days. So let's get back to a little bit more of a meta game. Now, the idea with this deck is simple. Obviously, you're getting advantage of the Vayne to be able to tumble and put a lot of pressure into the opponent. And then eventually, if you're not able to just finish the game by the mid game to mid-late game, you can always have Aatrox as a backup to come down and with the World Ender finish the game because of the overwhelm. The tumbles from Vayne ends up being really good with Aatrox package, especially because Aatrox has overwhelm. And the other key card in this deck is Renegade Viktor, as well as your Blinding Assault and your Quinns. Having Scout on any of your units when you use Tumble on the opponent's attack turn means that you actually get your attack token as well, and you pretty much get a full rally from just the Tumble. So the MVP of this deck is going to be Vayne, with Aatrox being a card that you want to draw from just playing all your Darkin equipment. The other synergy with this deck, you might have been familiar with this deck before because it used to be the Masia PNC, is that now we don't have to play PNC because by playing Aatrox, we still get access to the Darkin Harp. And the power of the Darkin Harp is that we can use the Darkin Harp with our Demacia challengers, including Valor, to just challenge the opponent's unit with quick attack and actually just remove them and get a lot of favorable trades. So the idea with this deck is really taking advantage of the Darkin Harp, get a lot of value. The Darkin Aegis is also really good because of the Broadwind. You can put the Darkin Spear of the Broadwind. The Bloodletters, I like the Bloodletters in this version of the deck because you can put on any of your units, and as they die, you get another Darkin Troll back, which you can put another equipment on, and still have a unit that's putting a lot of pressure on the opponent. This deck does it all, to be honest. The only thing that it's not doing is that it doesn't have freezes, right? That's why Kayn Aatrox used to be better because of the Unforgiving Cold, but that's no longer the case. But instead of freezes, we have a lot of strikes between Cataclysm, between triple fish fight because we have a lot of equipment, and even one Condemn. And obviously if you get multiple Vanes, you can also play the Condemns from Vayne. Allows you to be able to remove any of the opponent's threats. In the early game, you want to look for your Broadwind, for your Fleet Feather Tracker, have those, or even the Blinding Assault, have those challengers early on that you can attach a Darkin Harp and a Darkin Aegis to, and then be able to get pressure that way. You always want to have your Vayne early on because the earlier she's on the field, the more those tumbles get reduced, and you can just actually level up the Vayne and push damage that way. And eventually you will draw Aatrox as you keep replaying your Darkin Harp, your Darkin Aegis, or your Bloodletters over and over again, because the moment that you play 3 of them, you actually get to draw the Aatrox, adding some consistency to this deck and be able to draw. Usually it's either the challengers or the Renegade Viktor that end up putting a lot of pressure against the opponent, but a lot of people are going to try to get rid of that Vayne as soon as possible as well. Lastly, notice that we're playing triple catch. Because we're playing a lot of equipment, a lot of times you can surprise opponents by actually having catch enable and be able to kind of win the game through there. It's also nice because you could potentially play catch into World Ender to have a burst speed attach equipment to some of your allies, and then World Ender to assimilate them really quickly. So just gonna keep that in mind as well. Aside from that, let me see anything else that you guys need to know. This deck is pretty basic. It's as mid-range as it gets. Plays very similar to how Quinn, Vayne, and C used to play. Just now has the Aatrox package instead. I remember what I mentioned in my Aatrox Kayn video. You can always go for the double Aatrox play, but doesn't really make that much sense in this specific deck because you don't have as many units as you used to have in Aatrox Kayn. But good to keep in mind that you can always go for the double Aatrox if you can transfer the Darkin Blade to another unit before you assimilate. Sometimes could be the way that you actually win some games. But enough about me. Hope you enjoyed today's deck. Again, going back a little bit to the meta, help you all gain some LP again. And I'll see you all at the end of the video for some mulligan tips. And before that, make sure that you remember to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LOL videos every single day. And we're trying to get to 5,000 subs before the end of the year. So make sure to help us out by subscribing there. Enjoy the games, and I'll see you soon. In this matchup, we're going to get Ziggs. And it's mono 6, so I'm guessing that it's going to just be Acolytes. Which is funny. Opponent's kind of playing like a nerf deck. Nerfed deck or not, though, it could still be very problematic. I don't like the sharp side, although sharp side could let me trade. I'm gonna keep the sharp side because it could let me trade favorably against one of the Acolytes, and I feel like if we slow them down enough, it's probably worth it. Maybe this hand was a little bit like, I want to have an early presence. Maybe the Fleet Feather is the wrong one, but I like the Fleet Feather as a way to potentially trade, right? Opponent could have Chemist here, and they do. It's a little bit annoying because if they have the Acolyte, here, we might have to actually just commit the Dark Ages just to block the Acolyte. And yeah, very telegraph. So we're gonna play Dark Ages here. That way, if the opponent attacks with the Acolyte, we can still block and advance our Aatrox, and the equipment goes back in our hand anyways, which is gonna count for Aatrox being also coming down to the field. We could play the Step-Fed Elkin here, and the opponent's just gonna drop the bomb. Do we sharp side now? I think I let them have it. And we just play the Dark Ages and the Defector instead. It's probably better that way anyways because of the Scout. Oh, actually, I like the Bloodletters now here instead. Second Acolyte. Sure. We go here. We have Sharp Side. This is the whole reason why we kept this Sharp Side mana, right? So that we could take trades like this without actually losing our units. We can play the Bloodletters here. So the Bloodletters allows me to attack and have the Fish Fight enabled to actually kill the opponent's units. So I like the Bloodletters here. That way, even if the Defector dies, right? Which it is gonna die, unfortunately. Unless we Fish Fight. But if we Fish Fight and an opponent has an Acolyte, it's the same thing. What if we play Browin? What if we play Browin first? We go here. We get the Dark Control, which gives the Browin Challenger. And then we can still go for the Darkin we can go for the Darkin Ages here. Or is it better to do Darkin Ages here? I like the Darkin Ages here. We get the Aatrox, and I think now that we have Aatrox, we're chilling. We kill this girl, we push 4. Now that we have Aatrox, I think we're okay. Even if the opponent has something crazy here, we can Fish Fight if we need to. We have Bloodletters for this. I think we go for Bloodletters. Yeah, it's gonna be another Acolyte. That's gonna get punished by the Fish Fight. Oh, they just drew instead. So we just play Vayne.
Walk among us, masquerading as men.
Acolyte's only at 4. Right? So Acolyte's only at 4. I am scared of another Acolyte. So before that Acolyte can get bigger, we're gonna Fish Fight now. So before that Acolyte can get bigger, I think I Fish Fight now. Do we lose? Do we trade the Vayne? I don't think we're ever trading the Vayne, right? Yeah, I don't think we're ever trading the Vayne. That doesn't make sense. We can keep the Darkin Ages instead. We can go for Aatrox. Start healing a little bit and have Aatrox enabled. The World Ender is still pretty far away. The stun is a problem. Although I don't know how much of a problem it actually is. We can attack with the Dark Control, but I think opponent wants us to attack. Opponent wants us to attack, I think. It's getting scary. Opponent just needs more Acolytes. Yeah, that would have been a good reason. If we played right about Kayn, we could have played around it. I think let's work on our World Ender. Let's work on our World Ender. Let's go for the Bloodletters here. Let's push our attack. We push 4. Opponent played 6, which is kind of annoying, but not impossible to deal with. Because we have access to the Condemn. Yeah. So we attack here. Opponent's gonna heal 2. Every 6 kill is gonna heal our Aatrox. Fortunately for us. Oh, opponent's actually gonna trade for us, which is even better. I like that trade. I like that trade a lot. Yeah, I like that trade a lot. I don't know if I agree with that trade by the opponent. Opponent keeps going for the draw because they're trying to get their Reliquary, but the Reliquary costs 2. So I don't know how much I like the fact that the opponent's just doing it that way. We could World Ender right now. So this is gonna be, again, this still loses, right? This still losing to the Aatrox Condemn. Do we ever tumble here and transfer over the Ural? Do we ever tumble here and transfer over the Ural? That way we can actually block the Acolyte or the 6 if we need to. Oh, that's, well, we get stunned, right? We get stunned, which does suck. If we take that sit from here, we take sits from here. So we will take, okay. We take 6 from here, take another 2 from here, that's gonna be 8. Take another 2 from here, that's gonna be 10. Take another 2 from here, it's gonna be 9. I don't like that. I think we just killed this 6 right now. That way it's dealing less damage. We take the 6 from the Acolyte for now. But I don't think I'm that afraid of that Acolyte hit. What we can do is that we can actually play the Darkin Blade on the Broadwind. And then just go for the World Ender, force the opponent to have a Rata Negation. Otherwise we get double Aatrox. So now the opponent has to have a Rata Negation. If they don't have Rata Negation, then we get double Aatrox. I guess the opponent could have a Drop the Bomb as well. Or the Rata Kayn. Do I mind that? Okay, so, because opponent did it this way, I think we don't go for the double Aatrox play. I think we just go... I kind of want to have this Ural in my hand. I kind of like the idea of having Ural in my hand, right? So, Ural, this is going to be discounted by 5, so this is going to be 3. So we don't have enough to actually play the World Ender play that I'm trying to do. If we play a safe... What if we go like this? What if we go like this and just take this attack? This heals us 2. I think if we actually get to play out double Aatrox, we actually do win the game. So that's why I'm actually going to try to go for the double Aatrox play. By playing the Broadwind into an equipment. So by attacking with Aatrox, we discount the World Ender to 5. We can play the Darkin Blade. Opponent still needs to have a way to kill these guys. And that's game. I think that's game, right? Because we can go like this. We have double Aatrox, which gives us double the heal. I almost forgot that we already played the Darkin Blade, by the way. So if we don't have that catch, we actually get punished. The only downside here is that we cannot actually play the Solani. So all we can play here is actually gonna be the Darkening Spear, which gets dragged anyway. So maybe we don't actually play her out. I don't want to give the opponent more damage with 6 unless we absolutely need to. Because they're gonna drag here. They push 6, 9. Ah, well, that's actually rough. Wait, but they just got rid of their thing then, right? But they just got rid of their I guess they have another stun. They're gonna have another stun. We're gonna have to actually sacrifice this Aatrox. We're gonna have to sacrifice this Aatrox. We might just lose to the... If the opponent has another Acolyte in their hand or another way to get rid of the minefield, we actually lose. Doesn't have it? So we live with the Aatrox. Okay, so if they had another stun, if they had another way to trigger the stun, we actually do lose. So we got a little bit lucky there at the end. Because next time they lose to all the Overwhelm. Because we'll be able to play the Solani out by killing the Elkin this turn. And then go from there. So even better. We probably should just press OK, by the way. Like, there's no way that the opponent actually has a stun and is not using it, right? Let's play it safe. Let's play it safe and pretend that the opponent is actually a Giga gaming us. Yeah, maybe they were. Maybe they were. They were actually trying to bait us out to play the Solani out. Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. Interesting play by the opponent. GG's. In this match, we're going against Draven Jinx. So, Aatrox tends to be really good at stopping all the aggression from Draven Jinx. This hand is not bad. This hand is not bad. The Darkening Harp with the Blinding Assault adds a lot of value, and the Toughen the Defector is also really good. We don't have Aatrox, right? So could be a little bit interesting. This is a lot of health. This is enough. Ah, the opponent's gonna just wait. The opponent just play that out? Their hand must be really bad for them to just play that out like that. Wow. Sure. Unfortunately, we didn't have this last turn. We still probably don't want to play it, by the way, because we probably want to play Blinding Assault. I'm willing to attack. I'm willing to attack so that we can play around a Craft Favorite. So I'm willing to take this attack so that we're playing around Craft Favorite. We're playing around the 2 mana drop. We're also playing around the 2 mana the Vladimir spell, the Feast. We want them to have a not as wide of a board. Here's my question.
We're the ones who make progress happen.
Is it ever Vayne now instead of Valor?
Demons walk among us, masquerading as
This is interesting. Yeah, this is Battlecaster. So if you had the Battlecaster, I don't understand why the opponent didn't like do things differently last turn. I guess what we can do is that we can actually play both. We instead of playing the Defector, we can play Fleet Feather Tracker and then play Blinding Assault and have access to the Darkening Harp. I'm actually gonna play the Darkening Harp out instead of playing the Catch. Oh, maybe not anymore. Maybe we actually do play the Elkin just so that he can have tough. This is gonna be a good blocker for us. Yeah, this is forcing the opponent to have opponent's gonna have to have like a get excited just to kill this Valor, right? I would have loved to play the Darkening Harp out.
Anything helps.
So they need... Oh, they discarded the get excited? Wait, that's no way that's correct. There's no way that's correct. And now they also tapped out of 4 mana, so we know they don't have Jinx. So I can just clear their whole board.
purified bone.
We go like this. Attack with the Tumble next turn on the Valor. And just chill. Yeah, I think opponents... Unless they have a get excited now, unless they have a second get excited, we even get Aatrox.
Jinx? Stands for Jinx?
They need to have a second Get Excited here to stop this tumble. And if they play Get Excited here, they have no way to level up Jinx. Or they could level up the Jinx, but they won't have a way to actually play the Rocket, right? So they get to level up Jinx, but they don't get to play the Rocket. We do lose some value here. We do lose some value here. We could start. It's always Aatrox, right? It's always Aatrox, even if we lose the Vayne. Even if we lose the Vayne, it's always Aatrox. Because there's no way for us to level up. I guess we could have leveled up Vayne by playing. Okay, that's a little bit annoying. That's a little bit annoying. It denies me the trigger, right? It denies me the trigger on this. I guess no, we can just play the Darkened Harp. We can always no, but then we lose the regen. We lose the regen, and that feels bad. So we're gonna go Bloodletters here. Let the opponent commit their Mega Death Rocket, and then we can put the Darkened Harp on the Troll, on the Darkened Troll. Start discounting the World End a little bit more. This Aatrox is gonna allow us to stabilize. While this is also still pushing 5 damage. Opponent doesn't want to... Okay, opponent's gonna block. So they have even one less attacker now. I guess that's cool. Remember that we still have the Tumble. Problem is that I want to level up this Aatrox, because as it is right now, it's very vulnerable to quite a few things. We need to probably play the Viktor out. Because the Aatrox is dying to the... opponent has 5 cards. What are the chances they can actually create another Rocket here? They're not very high. No, they're not very high. But I am scared about second Get Excited. Yeah, oh no, yeah. You still have 4 cards. You will not be able to create a Rocket this turn. We can play here and play the Bloodletters. They will push 5. I'm never blocking that. I am gonna just go ahead and do this now, though. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. If the opponent wants to actually block, then they lose their Jinx, and I think I'm okay with that because we can always bring back Aatrox with the World Ender. They're taking sets here because they didn't summon any other blocker. Otherwise, they lose the Jinx. Yeah, and we heal 2, so that only did 3 damage for them. World Ender is 9. We could World Ender right now and just win with the Overwhelm. Like, if we go Bloodletters here, and now we also have the Strike, and we World Ender, we have 2 Overwhelms that are going to be bigger than any other the opponent has. And this wins us the game. Aatrox just heals so much. Because you need to have blockers, right? The only way that you live this is by blocking with Jinx. And I don't think you really want to block with Jinx. I guess you could have another Get Excited. Doesn't have a Get Excited, so we can put them on not having a second Jinx. This is dealing 6. This is dealing 8. So 6 and 6 is still lethal. Even if you block with Jinx and the Craft Favor, is still lethal because it's 12. The only punish there would have been another Get Excited. But even if they do another Get Excited, that means that the Get Excited is not going phase, and we still have an Aatrox that's healing us 2 every turn, and we win the game. And then next, so we have the Aatrox sweep to actually be able to kill the opponent's unit. So yeah, the moment that Aatrox came down into the field, I think opponent had no chance, just because of how much healing Aatrox does for us. So GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Seraphine, Viktor, Ryze. Seraphine, Viktor, Ryze. So this deck is going to be really slow, which makes me feel really confident that we can actually just quickly beat them up. I'm actually willing to keep the Aatrox. It's kind of crazy, but I'm actually willing to keep the Aatrox. Because once I get the second Aatrox, I have access to the strike as well, which is kind of nice. We'll have the Vayne. I have the Vayne and a Darkening Spear on the Vayne. We still get the Cataclysm anyways, which is good. Yeah, I like putting the Darkening Spear on the Vayne. Oh wow, that's even better now. Okay, that's even better now. So maybe not even we don't even put it on the Vayne anymore. Yeah, opponent's gonna need to draw. That's cute. That's cute. We go like this.
Demons walk among us, masquerading as men.
Let's put the Darkening Aegis on her. That way she doesn't die to a thermal. We're gonna play the Defector. He's gonna have Scout right away. And we'll have cash to put the Darkening Spear on her. Getting our World Ender even quicker discounted, right? Vayne is gonna be leveling up pretty quickly as well. Now, opponent could try to commit a thermal here to try to kill the Defector. But that's where they get punished by the Darkening Spear. I wonder if I ever just attack right now. And have the opponent try to block and then try to kill the Defector. Like, this might be better as a surprise factor, but I don't think so. I think I actually want to just get the... I think I just want to get the trigger here. He also buffs the top unit in my deck, which is amazing for this matchup. So I think I just want to get the trigger here and start discounting the World Ender, right? So now World Ender is going to be at 12, right, from this strike. And then after we strike again, it's going to be down to 10. And the lower that we can make our World Ender, the better it is for us to win this game a lot quicker, right? Do I attack with Vayne? I think I slammed the Vayne attack too. I don't think I care. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just do it. The top two allies in my decks are now +1/+1 too, so that's pretty neat. We have the Tumble next turn to make our Defector get us a full rally. And opponent's just taking this damage like it's nothing. That tells me that they potentially have a second Ionia Varus and they're waiting to actually use it. Wow, my top units in my deck are going to be huge because we haven't drawn them yet and we're going to attack twice with this again. Or they might just commit to doing this. Yeah, I mean, I still go for it, right? I still go for it. It gets me the Scout, so Ben is going to level up. We can always fish fight to kill the Seraphine once she's closer enough to level up. Yeah, opponent's gonna actually trade. They're gonna have a Mystic here or something like that. That doesn't matter. It's cute. Doesn't really matter. I guess it kind of does, right? Because the opponent gets to keep this guy alive. I forgot about how much he actually adds to it. If we strike, if we just attack like this, then we will be losing our Vayne, right? Because she goes up to 6. If we Cataclysm the Seraphine, feels like a waste when we have the attack token. We can fish fight this, and this will go up to 4.
I'm not interested in dying.
And then he won't be able to kill the Seraphine, and she might die anyways. Like if we go like this, I think this is fine. I think we'll kill the Tentacle. Opponent could put damage on the Vayne, and we can always transfer the equipment back into her next turn. I want to level up this Vayne now and just get the 0 mana Tumble, even if the opponent technically gets a good block here. They have to worry about the catch as well, right? So they have to worry about the catch. Decided not to play around it. Vayne might think Vayne is close to dying, but we can always play the Darkening Aegis on the Vayne. Right? So we can always play the Darkening Aegis on the Vayne. My problem here is that if I play the... I guess if I can play the Darkening Aegis here, I can play Yoral as well. And I'm still in a good spot. This is just making it so that I don't lose to a Mystic Shot or I don't lose to a Hino. Opponent's gonna have to commit a lot more to actually be able to kill this Vayne. play Yoral. We get the Aatrox. Opponent has to actually kill this Yoral now with Thermal, if they have the Thermal. Because what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna actually put the Darkening Spear on the Yoral with the Tumble first, and then attack the Seraphine. They don't have anything at fast speed that could kill this Yoral, except for Thermal. Like, Thermal is the only thing that really kills this Yoral. So they have an option. They should Thermal right now. If they Thermal right now, then they can prevent my... Like, I will still attack with Vayne, probably, to be honest. Stun. Oh, the paddle star. The paddle star is kind of annoying. I guess we go like this. Let's go like this. That way the paddle star doesn't kill the Yoral. That way the paddle star doesn't actually kill the Yoral, right? And we still get value on the World Ender that we've been talking about. What? They're gonna give us the... If they're gonna give us the Seraphine. We can attack with Vayne too now, because the paddle star is 3 mana. So we can still attack with the Vayne because of the paddle star being 3 mana. So you're still taking 5 here. We have actually taken less. Okay. Alright, so here's the play. Do we Aatrox? Or do we just kill their Seraphine? Aftershock? I kind of like doing this. Kind of like doing this first. I also just like tumbling now. Before we actually commit the Aatrox. Because again, I don't think the opponent has a good way to kill Vayne. Because she has 3 health. So this is forcing the opponent to have to block with Seraphine. Mystic? Okay, Mystic disintegrate from Seraphine. I'm not playing around the disintegrate from Seraphine, right? We have 2 options. We can... I think the best thing is actually to Cataclysm the Seraphine. So that she doesn't level up. So we're gonna Cataclysm the Seraphine. That way she doesn't get to level up next turn. And then we can just open attack. What we can actually do is that we can actually transfer the Darkened Aegis to the Yoral. So that it has an extra point of health. So that when we attack here, combined with the Yoral's value, we end up winning. But honestly, I don't think we need to do that. I think we just play Aatrox. I think we just play Aatrox. The World Ender is like a 5 mana. This gives them 2 threats. We have access to the Aatrox sweep. I think I prefer that than actually slamming the open attack with the Yoral. It gives the opponent a chance to kill Yoral, but because of the tough, it's very difficult for this deck to actually kill Yoral. That's why I wanted to increase the health, that when Yoral doesn't die to just a high note. So opponent needs to have 2 spells. Those are literally they have it. They go for the thing here, and I actually thought the World Ender would be cheaper. By the way, this is a very big Elkin. I just realized that. This is the card that got buffed by my Viktor and the Yoral all these turns. Couldn't have been anything better, huh? Like, imagine if this was like a Quinn, or a Vayne, or another Ranger Knight Viktor. The Haunted Relic. It gives them the stall tactic, huh? I guess let's go here then. It lets them stall long enough. It does actually let them stall, huh? We can Darken Spear the Elkin. We could Darken Spear the Elkin. We're definitely attacking, by the way, just so that I can get the World Ender down as cheap as possible. So this way the World Ender goes all the way down to 2 mana. It also lets us get up something here. Opponent got to stall out, right? Opponent got to stall, but we have enough ways to actually just completely get rid of their units that I'm not too concerned about us losing this just yet. We can even go for the greedy double Aatrox play. Back alley bar. Yeah, we could even go for the greedy double Aatrox play. Maybe I didn't need to use this blinding assault, to be honest, though. Opponent already lost double Seraphine, so they will need to top deck another Seraphine for me to even be scared. You might get there. There's a Darking Spear, there's a Hurrah, doesn't get it. Alright, opponent just tapped out of mana, so I think we go... So this is what I was waiting for. We can fish fight. So we can fish fight the Viktor. Transfer the Darking Blade to the Valor. And then go like that. Or we can actually transfer it to the Ural. If you transfer it to the Ural, that way we get a second Ural in our hand. That's probably better. Yeah, so we transfer it to the Ural here. We will Ender. And we can play this Ural for free. Double Aatrox, so we have double Overwhelm. And with the double Ural, everything's gonna be increased, and we can push everything away. I'm surprised that the opponent's still sticking in this game, by the way. We're gonna have like double challengers. I guess we don't have double Ural. Yeah, if we did it on the battle, we would have been okay. We also would have gotten a scout on the Aatrox. But it's fine. We still get one Ural, we get a knockout as well. We pull, and go from there. Opponent is a trooper for staying in this game. After we kill double Seraphine, we even get an Instaratu here. Also, we actually did hit the Defector. Look at this Defector. Look how big it is. 10-9. Wow. Yeah, we just had too many strikes, and we just got too fast for that. The opponent played a couple of good lines. Opponent played some very good lines, especially with that Tentacle and the equipment on it. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough, so GG's. In this match, we're going against Rumble Vayne. This deck has been gaining a lot of steam recently because it can go really quick, which is obviously very good for the opponent. I like my Quinn. I like the fish fight. I'm going to keep this whole hand. I want to probably get an equipment, but we have so many equipment in our deck that it's a good chance that we just stop deck one anyways. Okay, we don't get an equipment yet. If we get an equipment, we're gonna be in a really good spot.
Demons walk among us, masquerading as men.
I wonder if the opponent actually attacks here. Calling Strike? What?
Damn you.
Okay, I mean, props to you. I never expected that Calling Strike. Doesn't even attack for some reason. Alright, here we go. We go Defector. We go Darking Aegis on it. And then enable the Condemn to actually kill their Bane. In the meantime, we push in a ton of damage. In the meantime, we get to push a ton of damage. Go again. What am I just take this damage like that? Are they playing around Sharp Sight? No, I'm gonna kill this Bane now. They might be playing Sharp Sight. Nope, doesn't have it. So just like that, the world ender got reduced by 3. They need to have Rumble, right? They need to have Rumble for me to feel scared.
Locked and loaded.
They discard the Fragment, the Cataclysm. They get to push some damage here. I don't really want to play... They're gonna level up this Rumble, right? I don't really want to play the Quinn yet. Because we can just play Quinn here.
Nothing gets between me
And yeah, you can level up your Rumble with your little Tumble, but I don't think the Tumble's gonna do you much if you just straight up die. Is it another Cunning Strike? Could be a Cataclysm, right? Could be a Cataclysm. Still levels up the Tumble and kills the Bane at the same time. We cool. I think we're still in a winning position. I still think we're in a winning position because we can go The Viktor. I would like to. This is rough. Because I could open. And push the 5, but that doesn't make sense. I could open here too and just push another 5 and then set up for my challenge after the fact. Like if your opponent doesn't block here, they're taking 5. They could have Calling Strike. Oh, repose. I think I'm okay with that repose. You're not killing us yet, right? You're not killing us yet, and we can play Ural out. Or we can just win the game too. Can we win the game here? This is 3. No, this is only going to be 5. So it has to be Ural. It has to be Ural. Lets me kill the... Doesn't let me kill the Rumble, actually. And then we pass, I guess? We can go like this for now. We can Cataclysm the Rumble next. Because, I mean, the problem that, the reason that, okay, when, if the opponent gets overwhelmed, I get punished by the play that I made. That's the only thing that punishes me.
Loving this.
Affirmative.
So the overwhelm fragment punishes me. Opponent hasn't played the other fragment from earlier. We could go like this.
Physical discomfort systems online.
Right? We could go like this. Opponent still needs to play. Opponent still needs to play their tumble. We let the Elkin die. Opponent gets another freaking huge unit. We play Vayne.
Those who kill innocents are no more than fiends.
Opponent gets their own Vayne, so they're gonna have their second one next turn. We could play the Darking Harp on this. Allow me to kill allow me to kill the Rumble. Right? So we can go like this. Get the Rumble out of the way first. I like getting the Rumble out of the way first. If opponent plays Repose here, they're tapping out of mana with everything else. The World Ender should be pretty cheap.
Show 'em what you got, baby.
Initiating.
We could just straight up win with Cataclysm. Actually, it's not as cheap as I thought. So we're gonna have to sacrifice one of my units here. Opponent's gonna tumble. Opponent gets the +2. Tumbles again. Doesn't get the equipment. I think we just sacrifice Vayne. I don't think I need that Vayne.
Yes, it is.
Take another 2. Opponent gets another value. We go here.
Maximum.
We could have we could go for an Aatrox strike here, knowing that the opponent doesn't really have any good blockers, and they're gonna need to block with the Rune Weaver, but I don't think we need to, because we can just win with the Overwhelm on the Aatrox. Opponent needs to open attack.
Pain drivetrain.
Engaged.
Opponent needs to open attack and set up for a tumble. They don't have enough, right? Because they didn't get the Overwhelm. I think we played it a little bit too dicey this game. I don't gotta put damage on my Aatrox, because opponent potentially have access to a way to actually kill Aatrox. We will ender here. Now Aatrox has 10 HP, which means that the Rumble is not able to attack anymore, and then we can Cataclysm. We can Cataclysm the Rumble actually, because the attack will go through regardless, and get rid of the spell shield on the Rumble. This also becomes against Tiratu, right? Oh, opponent's just gonna tumble now. Okay, so opponent's gonna try to kill us here. We could just strike it. Okay, so there's a couple of options that we have here. This tumble is only dealing this. So we're almost down by 1. If we strike, if we tumble, then the opponent will be able to kill Aatrox eventually. If we fish fight, if we Cataclysm on the Vayne, I think we just win the game because of the Overwhelm. I think this is the safest way to do it. I don't think opponent has a way to actually protect this Vayne to get enough. We beat a sharp side. We beat a repose. We don't beat a concerted strike. Yeah. Got a little bit dicey there. I think I played that a lot cleaner. We also healed too by attacking with Aatrox on the Cataclysm. So even if the opponent would need to have exactly concerted strike for me to feel like I wouldn't have been able to survive that turn. So GG's. In this matchup, we're gonna get Ziggs Taliyah, and this is playing Ionia, so I'm guessing it's gonna be the Black Flame like Aragon play with, and also has access to the recall spell, right? So I gotta keep that in mind, that they have access to the recall spell to actually bounce back and destroy my equipment. I like the Darkin Harp, and I'm actually liking the Condemn. But maybe it's a little bit greedy. Yeah, maybe we want to look for Fish Fight, and we also want to look for early units, of course. So I think that maybe the Condemn is a little bit too greedy. It would have been a nice way. To remove the opponent's units, though. We can play Vayne on 3 and then have Darkin Harp on the Challenger if we want to. The Blinding Assault can weigh a little bit. Or, I mean, we could also play. Yeah, we have multiple ways that we can do it. The one thing about the Unworthy Soul is that it costs 5 unless the opponent has flow enabled. So what I need to do is also keep track of how often the opponent is actually enabling flow, so I can properly play around it. Still Vayne. I still like Vayne. I was thinking if there's a world where we play Fleet Feather into Blinding Assault into Darkin Harp, but I'm still liking the Vayne over the multiple challengers, because I think Vayne is going to be very good here at just leveling up quicker and putting pressure on the opponent, especially when they're showing me that they don't really have a great hand, right? Like this tumble is going to be huge, especially if we get Vayne to actually level up. We could always just sacrifice this Fleet Feather here and instead play the Blinding Assault into the tumble next turn. Right? Yeah, I kind of like that. Well, okay, the problem here is that now the Blinding Assault is getting pushed by the Rolling Sands. So maybe it is correct to just go... Maybe it is correct to just go here. Get the free trade and keep this Fleet Feather for later. Yeah, I'll get the free trade because it is a little bit awkward having to deal with the Rolling Sands. Although the Defector probably would have preferred the quick attack as well. I think that my only concern, if I don't top deck another equipment, I think this is a mistake, right? If I top deck another equipment, then I think we're good. But without another equipment, it makes the tumble a little bit more awkward. We do play a lot of equipment, so there's a good chance that we can top deck a second one. But we actually didn't. We actually didn't. And opponent's just gonna go for like an attack here. We could just eat up this right now. And just give them the Fleet Feather. Block with the... I'm down to block with both. Because what I'm gonna do here... Okay, opponent only use the Desert Naturalist, right? So they haven't enabled flow yet. So for them to have flow, for them to do the Unworthy Soul, they're gonna have to actually commit all 5 mana. What we can do here is that we can do Darkin Harp, right? We can Darkin Harp. We could also just open attack and then do the Scout afterwards with the Ranger Knight Defector and the Tumble. So this is 4, 2 mana, that's gonna be 6.
And I'm not interested in dying.
We could just open attack. Because I feel like this is very telegraphed. I feel like this is so telegraphed. It's still probably our best play. Because, well, no, because opponent could have dropped the bomb. And I really don't want to deal with that drop the bomb. So what if we go like this? Just push this damage through. Trade with the Grumpy Bear. Rock Hopper. Play Defector. Play the Tumble. Give her the Darking Heart. She's still pushing a ton of damage. Our Vayne is gonna level up. Opponent's gonna have to sacrifice all their blockers. Our Vayne is gonna level up here. Opponent's still losing all their blockers, and we can tumble on the Defector next turn. I'm willing to attack with Vayne too, by the way, because she levels up and we have a second Vayne in our hand. So even if the Vayne now is going to be in range of dying to drop the bomb, which opponent blocking levy tells me they have dropped the bomb. But you know what's going to happen now? Because opponent's going to kill this Vayne, after we play this tumble, we can replay the second Vayne and get another Silver Cost tumble. So, it's going to be tough. This is not enough, because this only gets them to 1. And then we still tumble here. And this is dealing 6. Opponent's gonna have to block. We get our tag token, right? Opponent's gonna try to kill this with Taliyah, but the moment that they try to kill this with Taliyah, they lose the game. Yeah, don't they just lose the game here? Like, we just go like this. Opponent doesn't have anything for 1 mana that could save them. I guess they could have like a random Shapestone. But I don't think that deck is playing Shapestone. It was a good try. It was a good try, but the fact that we never had to actually play around the Unworthy Soul made it really easy for us to kind of just overwhelm them with pressure. But that is also why I wanted to play Vayne on turn 3. Because it's so easy for her to level up if you get her down on turn 3. So GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Akshan, Varus, Sivir. Now, this matchup is very winnable by the opponent. It's also winnable for us, right? But definitely very winnable for the opponent. I don't hate the double Vayne. The Darkness Spear is so good with the Broadwind. The double Vayne giving me access to Condemn seems amazing. Aatrox is not a bad draw whatsoever. Of course, double Aatrox is sad because we only play 2 Aatrox. So now we lose the value from actually being able to get a free Aatrox, right? So that kind of sucks. Let's go Vayne. Start discounting the tumble. If the opponent passes, I'm passing back, by the way. I think I want to burn out their mana more than I care about pushing the damage. Yeah, I think I care more about burning their mana more than I care about pushing the damage. Ooh, okay. Go Blinding Assault. Because it slowed them down. I think us actually passing there slows them down. And we're the ones that have... We're the ones that actually have the Vayne on the field. So I don't mind this. Now, this is a little bit annoying. It's a little bit annoying. For us to take advantage of this tumble, we will have to sacrifice our Broadwind, which I don't like the idea of sacrificing Broadwind. Opponent could also have a momentous choice, which saves them against this too. Huh. How are we doing this?
And I'm not interested in dying.
How are we doing this? The equipment is really problematic. I don't want them to get that much value. We could play here, but then we're losing the Vayne if the opponent actually has a momentous choice. Let's say that the opponent doesn't have momentous choice. Let's go here. If the opponent doesn't have momentous choice, then it's probably better to attack with the Vayne, right? Because we can give her the tough from the Dark Ages. Yeah, so opponent's gonna find the strike here. We go here, lucky find. We also tapped ourselves out of this. This doesn't lose to the freeze, so that's a good thing. Spell shield. Unfortunately, the spell shield means that they're able to survive the condemn, even if we were able to actually trigger it. Let's just push this damage now. This effect will be okay. That's huge. I think that's huge because I'm okay with it. Because now we can actually go for the tumble and have condemned mana enable, and Vayne is actually gonna level up.
There is so much power in us.
Okay, so problem here. I don't really have a card that can actually kill that Varus. Like if we go like this, going like this buffs our unit, but means that the Varus can actually survive. I think it's always Dark in Ages, because if the opponent has access to momentous choice, we can still do the condemn, right? So we can go like this, and even if the opponent has access to momentous choice, we can still condemn and be able to actually punish this. So we go like this. I want to do this before the opponent has access to play the Lucky Find, so we don't lose to the momentous choice, because momentous choice only takes into 6. So but if we went for the Darkness Spear, we would have actually lost the momentous choice. And there we go. We kill the Varus and we level up the Vayne with our next regular attack. I'm willing to attack into the Seraphine. No, that's trolling, right? I don't think oh, okay. If the opponent actually commits the Seraphine here, I'm actually not attacking. But they gave it to us, so we just take the free attack and take the free tumble next turn with the Defector to give us Scott again. And our Aatrox is still in a very good spot. This one is even bigger. This one is even bigger. Opponent can play Swinging Blade, right? But they have to block. They have to block the Defector. So they don't have enough. They don't have enough for a strike, because they want to play Swinging Blade on the Sivir and be able to push damage that way. So I think this game is over. Vayne is leveled up. Aatrox is getting a lot of value from the Defector. We can transfer the Darkin Spear to the Defector, getting her to 7 HP. I don't need to block this. We just go like this. Force the opponent to run a negation if they want to stop this. They don't have it. Darkin Spear gets me to 7. Opponent has to block with the Sivir, so now the momentous choice doesn't actually doesn't actually kill our unit either. The freeze is 5 mana, so it doesn't work. I'm pretty sure the opponent had momentous choice, so we were able to put enough pressure on them. I think that pass on turn 3 did a lot of work for us. Because he stopped them from being able to play the 3-drop and then play Varus the turn after. So GG's. Hey, welcome back everybody. Hope you enjoyed today's games. You kind of see how strong this deck actually is. Didn't really feel like there was a lot of games that we got a lot of pressure on. You saw Vayne carry some games because of the tumbles. You saw Aatrox carry some games because of the World Ender. And you saw the advantage of having the Darkin Harp with your challengers to kind of get a lot of value from that, right? You even saw a couple times where Blinding Assault actually got advantage of that on that Ziggs Acolyte matchup. What else can be said about this deck? Honestly, not much. Like, the deck is strong and it's consistent. That's why it has such a high win rate. There's a lot of ways that you can win the game. There's a lot of options. It's not just Vayne, but like I said, also the Darkin Harp, also the Aatrox. If the game goes long enough, you can just start summoning the Steratu by itself. You can summon the Naka by itself, etc. You even saw a game where, like, me having the Darkin Spear enabled brought out like a really big Vayne when we played against that Varus, Sivir action deck. It feels like it does a little bit too much. So that consistency is probably going to keep this deck as being the top deck of the meta, and the deck that most of the people in top 10 or all regions are probably going to be playing. Is it unbeatable? No, but if you look at the matchup tables, it's very close to there. So if I'm looking at a deck to really climb with and get pretty OP, this is the deck that I would recommend. But enough about that. In terms of mulligan, I would like to keep my early units. So I'm looking for Broadwind. I'm definitely looking for Vayne, right? So Vayne, Broadwind, and maybe sometimes a Fleet Feather if I feel like I already have enough equipment. I usually only want to keep 1 equipment in my hand because we are playing 10 different equipment. You don't want to be stuck with a hand where you get too much equipment and not enough actual units. So usually I'm looking for Blinding Assault, Broadwind, Vayne, and then keeping at least 1 equipment. My equipment of choice for the most part is going to be Darkin Harp, but the Darkin Ages is also really good to keep, and the Bloodletters as well if you feel like you're going to sacrifice your unit early on. So yeah, so look for units first, The equipment will come naturally because of how many we're playing in our deck. With 10 of them in our deck, we're always bound to have one. You're gonna have over a 25% chance of getting one in every draw, even if you don't start with it in your mulligan. So just gonna keep that in mind. But enough about that. Hope you enjoyed today's games and this meta show, this top deck of the meta showcase. If you did, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post a lot of videos every single day. We're so close to 5,000 subscribers, so any support that you can give us is amazing, so we can get to that goal before Christmas. At this way, you all have been subscribing so much that we're gonna get the goal a little bit closer than I expected. And you can also follow us on Twitch at Sirturmund. We stream every now and then, and find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all again tomorrow.